Welcome to Unfiltered Business Podcast, the show that funnels in all the good and all the bad of what it takes to run a business.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Unfiltered Business Podcast. I am joined here today with my good friend Leslie Traylor. She is Director of Member Experience at LaGrange-Troup County Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be here.
Exactly. I'm super excited to have you. She has gone through a lot with the Chamber and has really just grown the ranks up there and taken on a lot. You originally are from LaGrange, correct?
Yes, born and raised right here in Troup County. Yes.
And then you went off to Berry College. What did you major in?
I'm a communications and PR major.
Which is perfect for literally everything you do.
It is. It was a great fit. Didn't know it at the time, but now here we are and it works.
You came back, you went through a few jobs, and you really kind of found your place at the Chamber in 2018?
That's right. So fall of 18, the position opened at the Chamber. Fell in love with the position before, as I was even applying. I thought this was going to be a great fit for me, just being local. With my background, it was going to be a great fit. Went through the interviews and here we are, I guess 4 years later. So yeah, it's been a wild ride.
What are some of the things you do at the Chamber right now?
So again, like you said, my job is Director of Member Experience. So really focusing on retention, growing our membership, work with the Diplomat program, lots of committees, of course, at the Chamber, and planning events as well with the rest of the team. So we're doing it all, lots of hats.
So many committees too.
Yes, you would know. You're a part of a couple, so.
That's great. So when you first started in 2018, what was kind of your role back then?
Membership was my main focus. I did start with a team of 6 others, so I was one of 7, and some of that changed, just a few short months after I started. So I was membership. So mostly, again, continuing to grow the database that was established at the Chamber. So working with events, learning people. I mean, it was, I started my very first breakfast with the old team and realizing that they knew everybody's name. And I thought, I'm never, ever going to know everybody's name. And then now we just had a breakfast and it's finally, I feel like I'm in and I know everybody. Exactly. So it takes a lot, but that's one of the memories I have is thinking, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to pull out everybody's name tag. And now it's just part of the job.
It's like joining a new school and not knowing a single part.
Right.
Who am I going to sit with at lunch?
Exactly. And now 170 people when they walk in. So it
In 2018, when you started your role, a few months later, y'all went through a lot of changes, a lot of leadership changes. The county did some few things, and your team got smaller, and the Chamber got smaller, and you had to take on a lot. I remember watching you and checking in a few times, and you were taking on a lot of different roles and playing a lot of different hats.
I feel like that's kind of when we first met was 2019, and things were a little crazy. So yeah, it was about 6 short months after I started. I'm growing from a team of 6 or 7 to just me in July. And so it was just buckle up. We still had events to plan and still had a magazine to put out and still had committees going and a board. And with the help of the board, thank goodness, they certainly brought in volunteers to help me. And then our interim, of course, Kathy Tilley helped for about 5 or 6 months. And so that was a blessing. But the summer of 19 is one to never forget. But with a lot of support. I mean, a lot of people in the community understood what was going on in the Chamber and fully supported me being there. And then, of course, Kathy after that.
What were some of the few things that kind of got you through that while you were being kind of employed to take on all these hats and roles? And what was something that really just kept you motivated through it all?
I really had no other choice. I mean, I had to learn all aspects of the job from, again, kind of figuring out the magazine to early bird breakfast. Now I had to know everybody's names. Now I had to know how to print name tags. You didn't have a choice. We weren't stopping. And so again, the support of the board, the support of the community certainly got me through. And then little did I know, a year later, we would have Connie Hensler, our Chamber president, take over in April of 2020. And then that's a whole other crazy year of 2020. But for sure, Connie's been amazing and is rocking the position as president. So couldn't do it without her either. So the board, though, has been huge. The committee, Hype Young Professionals, they stepped in. I mean, so we really had a lot of support those kind of 6 months from summer to Christmas of 19.
Right. So 2019 and then even COVID year of 2020,
Yes.
it was kind of sink or swim, which is also like a huge life lesson too for anything that applies to life is you're either going to sink or you're going to swim.
Yes. And we swam.
Right.
And we made it. And so it's definitely, you go in from 2019 to 2020 and then kind of recovery of 2020 and 21. So 22 and 23 so far have been fairly normal, great years for our membership. We are continuing to grow the chamber. We just had a board meeting today, so I have the numbers off the top of my head, but just right now in quarter 1 of 23, we already have 29 new members.
Oh, wow.
This year. So it's been fabulous. We've already done 20 events for the year too, and that includes our breakfasts, all of our ribbon cuttings that you know about, and safety council yesterday. So 20 events so far this year.
That's a big deal. And it's already March. And it's like 2 years ago, you never would have, like 2020, I know we were trying to decide, are we going to do this event or this, especially in young professionals, we were like, where are we going to do this? And, y'all still got through it. Y'all still retained membership.
We did. And we still grew membership. We would have our early bird breakfast outside at Sweetland, which was that was fun. But maybe, a total of 20 events in 2020 versus just in this quarter, we're knocking out 20 so far. So being involved and in that support from our committees and the board is huge when you're a member of the chamber.
Right, exactly. So what are some of the benefits of being a chamber member? So
what we do as the chamber is we provide networking opportunities for our members to engage and to network. And I think you're a prime example of that with Elite, especially you and Corey, becoming diplomats, coming to ribbon cuttings, you're attending all of our breakfasts. You're really getting your name out there. You're getting involved. And that's the biggest benefit. The Georgia Chamber of Commerce actually offers health insurance for our chamber members that are in good standing. So health insurance is a huge benefit. We have our Shop Troop program. So if you're a retail or a restaurant, you were listed on our digital gift cards. That's an awesome benefit.
That's
so your money stays local. So we had the shop at home. And that was kind of in a check form, and now that's all digital. So you could just go to shoptroop.com.
Yeah.
and buy that. And again, your money stays right here in Troup County. So there's businesses in Hogansville, West Point, and LaGrange that accept those. And you have to be a chamber member for that. So that's a benefit too. So what else? We have our Where to Be, our weekly newsletter that goes out. So if businesses have anything they want to help us push, then we're happy to put that in the newsletter. Women in business, young professionals, leadership development courses, ribbon cuttings, of course, if you're a new business or even an established business that just joined, we'll come out and cut a ribbon. And you know the drill.
And Women in Business has been really great too. Like the last one we went to, it was really empowering too.
Yes.
We heard a lot of women business leaders in the community kind of step up and talk about their journey and things they've gone through. I mean, Solomon's has been here for Lord, how many
90,
years?
I think she's at 90 years. Yeah,
and she took that over, and we got to hear that. And I mean, that's a huge deal, especially with how many women business leaders we have in Troup County. I mean, that is insane.
Yeah, it was great. That was a great event to be a part of. And we're, of course, working towards our next one in October. We're actually hoping to have another this summer.
Okay.
With some sponsors, and we'll push that out soon. But that's always a great event. It's one of our best. Of course, our golf tournament is always fun. We have added a new golf tournament this year. This is our first time we're doing a spring tournament. It's actually April 13th.
Yes, yeah. Tell me a little bit about that.
Another event. It's a 2-person scramble, afternoon teams only, and it's at the Country Club on Thursday, April 13th. So we had such a success in October that we wanted to give this a shot. So
what's the theme this year?
It's Chamber Masters.
Okay.
So it kind of has a theme on Augusta and the Masters.
That's cool. Yeah, that's always a really big turnout too.
Yes.
And these are some of the events that have been kind of long-standing and really have
signature,
and have made it through every possible change the Troup County Chamber has gone through. But
that's right.
They've been still
trying to elevate those experiences again for our members instead of keeping it, how it always has been. We wanted to spend 22 and 23 really elevating. So our Valor Awards, that's a huge event for us. We have a date set for August 31st. Okay. That's where we we showcase our local first responders. And so there's a nomination process that'll take place at Great Wolf Lodge. That's a huge event for us. And then our chairman's gala takes place in January, where we talk about the year before and all of our successes. So that was a huge event as well.
Yeah, y'all have really been, like, the past 2 years elevating, everything.
Yeah.
And that is great, because y'all have had a lot of great incentives and ideas that have came in and said, let's step it up.
That's right. And so, again, that's for sure a lot of Connie and the backing of the board, as well as making these events elevated and having a great events committee to help put these together, because, it's just me, Kristen, and Connie in the office. We're a team of 3 and killing it, but without the help of those committees to really support and make those behind the scenes things happen, we couldn't do it without them. So
Right. And you're at every event too. Even on the weekends, you're juggling your family, your job, your social life, but you are still at every single event. Even if you're in the background, you're still there making sure it goes off without a hitch.
Yeah, you have to. It's part of it. And that's what I love is, my background's communications and PR. After graduating, I worked a little bit downtown at Unfiltered Remember. So really got into the weddings and the events with Amy, even before she moved to her location now. That's how long ago it's been. But that just kind of sparked, events and being around community for me. So the chamber job has been such a great fit, and it's such a blessing to work with Connie and Kristen. And I'm just very lucky, and it's so fun being, even behind the scenes. I'm not in every ribbon cutting picture, but that's okay.
Right.
We're making it happen.
How do you stay so energetic and motivated to get through? Y'all take on a lot every single day.
Coffee. We're right next door to Cafe Brulee, so that's really nice. We can get coffee, but no, it's just one of those things. Like we have to get it done. We work really well when we do have that deadline, and it's approaching fast, and we know we can really knock it out of the park. So we're not procrastinators, but we do work well when we've got an approaching deadline. So again, we have an upcoming magazine. People don't really know that either. Troop Trends is a chamber document. It's ours. So we put that together. Kristen certainly lays out that magazine, and you've certainly helped with photos as well. So magazine, Christmas parade is another. People still don't quite know that the chamber does the parade. And so that was brought up today. We already have a date for the Christmas parade. So we're planning well in advance, but we really get down to the nitty gritty once it gets closer.
Yes. And you handle it being as a mom and a wife too. I've seen Zane at a few events too, which he loves it. I know he enjoys the social aspect.
He does.
Pretty sure we'll see him this weekend helping set up chairs.
Absolutely see him Saturday as the little leprechaun running around putting on tablecloths. I've already put him to work.
Yeah, no, and he's great too, and he helps out. I've seen him at the bike tournaments and things like that.
He does. Zane in 2020, again, I guess literally right now, 2020, he was in kindergarten, and so he had to come to work with me. And that's also right when Connie started. So Zane and Connie are very tight in the office. And it's, again, so wonderful to be able to bring him to work when needed. But certainly in 2020, that was an adjustment for everybody. But yeah, we call him our little chamber mascot. So put him to work and he loves it.
Right. So for all those business moms out there, how do you juggle that, being a mom and heavily involved in your work?
It's just day by day. Really, that's just how it is. I keep a calendar on the fridge, a calendar in my office. It's day by day.
Right.
And the support of my husband, Chad, of course, too. We've been together for over 20 years. Shows my age. But without his support, picking up Zane or taking Zane, early bird breakfast, I'm out of the house at 6:30. So he's on drop-off duty. He's been a blessing too, because he understands the load sometimes. And he's also, of course, he's willing to help. So he's happy to do it. And he's also happy to be put to work too.
No, that's great, because I know a lot of moms out there kind of need to find that balance, and that's super inspirational too.
And grandparents too. Yes. I have to plug my parents and Chad's parents. Again, we're both from here, and so Zane is so lucky to have both sets of grandparents right in LaGrange. So we're so blessed. So if or when Chad can't, then there's a grandparent there. So we have a great team, a great support team.
That's awesome. That's awesome and inspirational. And that I know that is super helpful at the same time for, moms out there.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
We're very blessed. We really are, because I know a lot of moms don't. A lot of families don't have that support, and I can't imagine that, because we're so lucky to be able to have people very close to us to help.
Right. And your family owns a local business around here too.
My husband's family, Chad.
Yes.
My in-laws, they own Traylor's Jewelry and Pawn. And before that, Bobby Traylor owned the pawn shop, and Bobby was a city councilman with LaGrange for over 20 years. He's a diplomat. Jenna loves Bobby. Bobby will come to ribbon cuttings with Mott, his wife, Grandma, and it's a family affair at events. You never know when he'll show up, but yes, we are established roots right here in Troup County, and plan to stay.
My favorite memory as Bobby is anytime he pulls out his flip phone and a little antenna on it, and it's,
I know.
That always cracks me up.
I know.
It's the only person I really see around the town that has.
I think he might be the only person. Yeah. No, he's not. No upgrades.
Right. No, and with a lot of the diplomat stuff, there's a lot of incentives too, where you're asking people to share things on social media and things like that. And Bobby's just got his flip
I'm like,
phone.
Bobby's going to skip that one. No Facebook. Yeah. He, or maybe on his desktop, he could maybe share if I taught him how to. But that is true. Our diplomat program, we're really improving, as you know. It's more than just coming to a ribbon cutting when you can, and maybe a breakfast here and there. We've got a point system that we've established. Again, co-chair Jennifer Emery's been huge with helping with that.
Right.
An application that we wanted signatures from our Diplos, and just to show that they're being accountable, because we want it to be an elevated program for us. That group of 15 that we can really count on for volunteer work to help us after breakfast to clean up. There's just a lot that goes on, like you said, behind the scene, the day before, the day of, behind the scenes. It's the three of us, but then we also look for our volunteers too.
Right. So how would someone join the chamber if they were interested?
Yeah, so everything's online. Certainly anybody can come by the office. I'm always happy to chat. We're doing a little construction up front in the lobby, so you can call us and we'll let you in. There's a sign on the door, but everything's really online. So our website is LaGrange-Chamber.com. There's a drop-down box that says application, and you apply and you pay right online. The fees for the year depend on the number of employees you have. So 1 to 10 employees, for example, is $325 for the year. That gets you, again, an enhanced membership listing on our business directory, login information to the portal so you can update your own business directory, and invites to all of our events. Again, we've already done 20 this quarter. So it's all about getting plugged in and all about you doing the work to attend the events that we offer.
Take advantage of the opportunities.
That's right.
Yes. And that's a huge thing.
What you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. So
and I think we say that at every possible new member
we
orientation.
do. We try to drill it
anything.
home. You've got to take advantage of what we're offering.
Right.
And even, from that step, Jennifer Emery's a great example. Even you're a great example of getting started and then coming to a few events, getting your name out there. Now you're on a committee, and Jennifer's a board member now, and now a co-chair of a committee. So, I mean, it's just, you can make it happen. You just have to do it.
Yes. Okay, cool. So is there anything you're reading right now that is super inspirational to you? Or even if it's, a nice little, what is it, Colleen Hoover right now that everyone's reading?
I have one waiting on me. I'm actually reading Spare by Prince Harry right now. So that's what I'm into. I know. I just love to read.
Right.
Actually, I have a library book I have to take back probably right after this. It's late. To the library. So
you have
I'm
a library membership?
Oh, yes. I'm a library nerd. Love it. Forced Zane to go with me to the library. But no, I got Spare for my birthday. That was one that I wanted, and a Colleen Hoover book. But got to get through the first one first.
Nice. Well, I really enjoyed you having with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you really for coming in and sitting down and chit-chatting with me.
Well, this was a breeze. So thank you for making it easy.
Perfect. All right. Well, y'all have a great day.